Hello and good morning. My name is Ying, and together with Alberto, Lang, Michael, Shuquan, and Xuewei, I will be presenting our research proposal. After reviewing the academic literature about ethical branding, we found out studies related to the influence of perceived brand ethicality on brand passion. CSR activities influence how ethically companies and brands are perceived. Green advertising impact on consumer brand attitudes and purchase intentions. Perceived ethicality has a positive and indirect impact on brand equity, while brand heritage has a negative effect on brand image. An ethical brand enhances the firm's reputation. We found out a gap in the literature that we decided to analyze. Our study aims to assess whether greenwashing has the same negative effect on customers with high-level commitment towards the brand. We want to fill the gap in the existing literature regarding ethical branding through the evaluation of the effects of brand loyalty if the relationship brand-consumer is or may be badly affected. This research will consider, in particular, which brand aspects are affected by greenwashing effect. Our objective is to verify if the greenwashing effects are mitigated by high levels of brand loyalty. Moreover, we want to evaluate how brand loyalty is able to keep the relationship stable. Talking about the research ethics, we intend to respect the dignity and worth of all participants involved in the research. No demographic data like sex, age, wealth, etc. will be collected. Interviewees will have to give their consent before participating in the interview. Information gathered or collected from participants would be used only for the intended purpose. We are using a deductive approach, since our aim is to fill a gap within the existing literature, and we will test if brand loyalty mitigates greenwashing. We decided to develop an explanatory research so we can verify if there are causal relationships between greenwashing and brand loyalty. We will use a survey to collect qualitative data with some quantitative questions to help us to prioritize the answers. So ours is a mixed methods approach. In our case, an exploratory approach would have required a thorough quantitative analysis of the phenomenon. Our time horizon is cross-sectional, so the interview will only be delivered once. The targeted sample is around 100 international students attending Aberdeen University. We are using a simple random sample. We made this decision since a stratified sample would be hard to create in a context such as a university. Considering non-probability samples, we are using convenience sampling. Since the interviewees we selected are international students, we can conveniently conduct random interviews on campus. On the other hand, this approach may be affected by accidental factors, such as high randomness, and its results cannot be generalized. In order to easily access the sample, we will contact students directly or via social medias. We can deliver the interview both physically and virtually, as some students went back to their countries because of the impact of COVID-19. Considering our data collection methods, we agreed that one-to-one semi-structured interviews are considered the most appropriate method for our research. Considering the current situation, interviews will be conducted on telephone or the internet, and they will be recorded. Moreover, a semi-structured interview format provides a focused and open form of dialogue and encourages discussion. Interview will include quantitative and open questions. All respondents will cover the same topics, starting with general questions referring to opinions about brand loyalty and greenwashing, with examples of personal experiences with their favorite brand, concluding with personal opinions about the relationship between brand commitment and greenwashing. We are using 3 different data analysis methods. Thematic analysis is helpful for us to obtain a classification of our data according to the relevant themes we're considering. Thanks to grounded analysis, we can analyze our qualitative data using inductive reasoning. Using conversation analysis, we can better understand the interviewee's behavior, why he or she is saying these specific words, and for a deeper comprehension of the connection between semantic content and data. Considering the quality of the research, we keep in mind values as transparency, consistency, validity, and credibility. Interview method proves to be consistent and valid based on our literature reviews and hypotheses. To ensure reliability, interviews would be in comfortable places. Moreover, interviewees should not be influenced by interviewers' bias or their bias. Accuracy would be ensured by clearing ambiguous scenarios and by proving objective interpretation of some of the questions. Credibility would be ensured by persistent observation. Repeating the answers to the respondents may also be a way of re-ensuring the collection of the right information obtained. In terms of limitations of our work, we don't have a sample big enough for quantitative significance. Moreover, we don't use a stratified sample since we are targeting University of Aberdeen students. There is not enough significant diversification to effectively represent a vast population. According to these considerations, our study has limitations regarding data collections since quantitative analysis would be more accurate in assessing causal relationships. Another limitation is time. Submitting the survey more than once would allow to evaluate if time may influence a relationship between consumers and brands already damaged by greenwashing. Finally, an important limitation is represented by bias, both of the interviewers and of the interviewee. In fact, the formers may not consider cultural bias when conducting the interview and when analyzing data. The latters may answer the questions considering what interviewers may expect to hear. For further researches, it would be interesting to develop a quantitative test on the topic in order to evaluate more precisely the effects we're studying, having a bigger significance and allows practitioners to understand the phenomenon. Further researches may also be related to the analysis of specific brand aspects and how they got affected by greenwashing advertising. These may also help the ethic consumption relationship study, providing a new starting point. Finally, it may be interesting to conduct studies on this topic considering only specific product categories or brand categories. For example, luxury brands, high-tech brands. Thank you for your attention.